This is the cheapest, fastest nervous system hack there is. Coming back to the breath and making sure that we're able to really get set and locked in. 2 minutes of breath work in the morning, 2 minutes of breath work and gratitude at night is going to help bookend our day really powerfully and make sure that we, again, have set the foundation well. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Own It Show. I'm your host, Justin Roethlingshoefer, and first off, happy Thanksgiving week. I have been waiting for this. I've been on the road a lot, and I'm really excited just for family this week and just getting excited. I don't know about anybody else, but turkey is my favorite. I will eat turkey for weeks after Thanksgiving's over. And I just love it. And like I've said, I think I said this earlier on in one of the earlier podcasts in November, but my gosh, I got Canadian Thanksgiving in October. I got the US Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving in November. It is the best of both worlds. And so as I was sitting into this week and what I wanted to do, I started to just share how excited I was for Thanksgiving. And as I started to share it with other people, I started to get a lot of feedback that I guess people don't all feel the same. And for many people, Thanksgiving is where health goals go to die, basically. And I was like, you know what an amazing time that I can actually share with people that it doesn't have to be. And even though we are with family that maybe we don't like, even though we're at a table that probably maybe doesn't have the best or healthiest food, and maybe we're not a big fan of football all day long, I want to help you enjoy the holiday without having to feel bloated, without having to feel sluggish or feel off for the next week. And quite frankly, we know that this kicks off a really big season of holidays because Thanksgiving turns into Christmas, Christmas turns into what I call no man's week, and then that kicks us right into New Year's. And so it's like, my gosh, there's so many things that goes on, and this is oftentimes a week that people aren't very excited about this. And so that's where we're going today. And I know this message is going to relate with a lot of people. And so my only ask is that as you listen to this, share it with somebody that you love, get it out to people so that they can ultimately win through Thanksgiving and they're truly grateful for this holiday that we have in a big way, because it's not about restriction or guilt, where a lot of people just say, hey, we got to restrict our way through this. It's about stewardship and staying aligned through simple, powerful habits. And so if you can keep your HRV, sleep, VO₂ max, and detox system steady during the holidays, you'll recover fast and enjoy it more. And so today we're diving into the 10 things, the 10 habits, the 10 essential habits to stay healthy and thriving through Thanksgiving. And so when we think about this, going to go through all of these, okay? Course of 20 minutes, boom, get them in and understand. We're going to set the foundation first, habits 1 through 3. What are those habits? Number 1, we're going to start with daylight and movement first thing in the morning. Okay, why? We want to make sure that our VO₂ max is looked after, oxygen efficiency within the body, and we want to set circadian rhythm. Always start strong. So first thing in the morning, get 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight and light movement, whether it's breath work, whether it's a walk, whether it's a workout, whether it's going for a run, whether it's an elliptical, whether it's a swim. I know there's some people that are in dark areas like northern United States or even northern Canada, and you're like, man, I don't get much sunlight where I am, or the sun comes up at 10 o'clock right now, and then we've just done the fall back, so it even gets dark earlier, and like all of these things. Make sure you just get light into your eyes first thing in the morning. Even if it's cold, bundle up, go for a walk outside, get moving. Light and movement to start the day. It boosts energy, it stabilizes cortisol, it improves glucose tolerance for the feast that you're gonna have later, but ultimately allowing you to get into a better rhythm so that you don't get thrown off. First thing in the morning, get that done. Even better, I always make sure I hit the turkey trot. That's something I'm doing on Thursday every single time. A beautiful 5K, a beautiful 10K, whatever it is, but get involved, get something done. Because when you move early, you set your nervous system up to thrive. So that's number 1. Start the day with light and movement. Number 2, hydration before celebration. Okay, remember, hydration before celebration. Start the day with 20 to 30 ounces of water and electrolytes. This primes the cells to absorb water and really get you set up to feel satiated all day. So now you're not craving all these salty and fatty foods later at night, and you've got a better way in which the body is able to say, hey, you know what? I'm full and I'm good to go. Because Thanksgiving foods, as we know, are often not just salty, but often dehydrating. And so hydration helps regulate blood sugar and supports those detox pathways of urine, stool, sweat, and breath throughout the day, so our body actually starts to keep moving in a better way. And then when we know that hydration improves parasympathetic tone, parasympathetic activation is key for seeing HRV rise. All of a sudden, when we're hydrated and we're doing things the right way, we're going to see our HRV rise as well. And then we want to do habit 3 is breathwork bookends. Breathwork bookends, and I couldn't be more bullish on this. 2-minute gratitude breath, first thing to start the day. 2-minute breath work with gratitude to end the night. Why? Because when we focus on breath work, 2 inhale breaths through the nose, 1 exhale breath through the mouth, it's active. And so if we're so full, it's not going to be something that's enjoyable, but also it's going to bring us back to this state of centering. So it's going to bring us back to the state of consciousness, the state of intention, the state of groundedness. And so it keeps HRV stable, it lowers our stress response, but it also keeps you in the moment. Because I think sometimes when we're around this much family, when we're doing all these things, it's very easy to get tied up in everything going on. And honestly, this is the cheapest, fastest nervous system hack there is. Coming back to the breath and making sure that we're able to really get set and locked in. 2 minutes of breath work in the morning, 2 minutes of breath work and gratitude at night is going to help bookend our day really powerfully and make sure that we, again, have set the foundation well. So when we're thinking about habits, Thanksgiving, biggest things we need to do, set the foundation, start the day with light and movement. Ultimately, number 2, hydration before the celebration. Number 3, breathwork bookends. Make sure we get that all set and locked in. After we have our foundation set, and don't worry guys, at the very end, I'm gonna go through what a Thanksgiving day might look like, whether it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just a Thursday, Friday, or whatever it is that you're doing for Thanksgiving. But I'm gonna outline what a day could actually look like once you see these. The next, habits 4 through 6, food, rhythm, and energy. So we're getting closer into like the actual celebration now. Turkey's probably already in. We're getting ready to eat. Football games are on. The family's all there. There's all this alcohol and a lot of food all around you. What do we do? How do we get going? Well, habit 4, protein first strategy. Why? Because it creates blood sugar stability. And so we're going to make sure that we eat a high protein breakfast before the big meal. It stabilizes your glucose, it curbs that overeating, and makes sure that our energy and our satiation is stabilized. This isn't about restriction, but it's about priming the body to stay balanced. The same reason why we start with hydration is making sure that the body has what it needs and it's satiated so it's not craving anything at the beginning. Because anytime our body is deprived, the first thing it's going to crave is sugar. Why? Because our body is taught to keep itself alive. What keeps it alive? Sugar and glucose. And so it's craving those types of things. Number 5, walking before and after meals. Walk before and after. 5-minute walk, 5-minute walk. 5 before, 5 after. What does that do? A 5-minute walk before and after improves insulin sensitivity, stabilizes energy, and increases HRV overnight. And so think of this as like your secret weapon against a food coma. So when you go for a walk before, what it does is, again, it tells the body, oh, I don't need to start gorging because I'm actually feeling like I've got glucose running through my body. And then after, it actually gets your body digesting food quicker. It helps you feel not so lethargic and not getting that tryptophan hit from the turkey right after. So walking 5 minutes before and 5-minute after meals. And then number 6 is create an eating window. Create an eating window. So aim to finish eating 3 hours before bed. Most people I know, when they're having their Thanksgiving meal, they're not starting their Thanksgiving meal at 7 o'clock, mostly because the football games, I think, start at noon. If you're like me and we've got Thanksgiving dinner around 4 or 5 o'clock at night, it's perfect, where you're able to now have that meal and really step in. But aim to finish eating 3 hours before bed. So that's your desserts, that's everything else, 3 hours before bed. And what this does is it supports digestion, detoxification of the liver, and ultimately steps you into REM sleep quality. So quality sleep at night so that we're not tossing and turning. I still remember one of the first Thanksgivings that I had in America. Thanksgiving in Canada is big and something that we are excited about, but in America, I mean, gosh, you guys just do it bigger down here. It's massive. And the first one I went to, I just remember, my gosh, I was tossing and turning all night. I don't think I slept for 4 or 5 days because I probably ate a week's worth of food. And so really just focusing on, hey, what does that look like? Stopping eating 3 hours before bed, making sure that's there, because that late night pumpkin pie can rob you of that quality recovery, which leaves you on Friday morning feeling terrible, which ultimately will cause you to want to go to sugar, which will go to the pie first thing in the morning again, or some type of leftovers with the cranberry sauce and the gravies and the turkeys and the mashed potatoes, that it just starts a very downhill cycle that'll last literally through January 1st. And we don't need to go that route. And something as simple as creating that eating window can help save you from that. So once we've set the foundation, then we focus on our food, rhythm, and energy, which brings us into habit 7 and 8, which is protecting sleep and recovery. I think we so often give this away, and there's going to be a podcast that you would have heard, I believe, last week, where I talked about debunking the flu season. And a lot of this comes back is because a lot of the habits and behaviors that get set up, right, dating back to October 31st and Halloween, and when we fall back in our time zone change, and everything is about getting less sleep, less sunlight, less activity, less outdoor time, less movement, all the lessers, less quality of food, all these things. But habit 7 and 8 come back to protecting sleep and recovery so that we can make sure we do this well. And so number 7 is block blue light after dinner, optimizing sleep quality. So once the sun goes down, we want to minimize bright overhead lights, use warmer tones, or even use blue light blocking glasses. So for example, after dinner, turn the dimmers on, light a lot of candles, use lamps in the rooms. When you got the football games on, maybe throw your blue light blockers on. It can be yellow or orange lenses, and just start to feel how you're able to start settling into a state of relaxation. The melatonin production starts to stay steady. It's going to start to get you ready for bed around that 9-10 o'clock time frame, and really be able to start leaning into these things in a much better way, because you're not going to now have all of this stimulus, especially if you're watching the football games or playing games with family in general. You're not going to be up all night tossing and turning. So make sure that you blue light block after dinner. Super, super critical. And then number 8 is limit alcohol. Limit alcohol, because alcohol is one of the biggest things that's going to disrupt our circadian rhythm, disrupt our sleep quality, disrupt our digestion of food, and keep us stimulated all night long, and ultimately steal from our sleep quality. And so making sure that we're able to limit alcohol by having other types of drinks, mixing in water, mixing in your electrolytes, making sure that you've got a time cutoff window, so no alcoholic beverages after dinner. And quite frankly, this isn't me saying you have to be sober or labeling it. I think that's a great statement, is you don't have to label what you're doing. I have a client that really kind of opened this up for me, because he said, yeah, I'm giving up alcohol. And this was a year and a half ago. And somebody asked him when we were at an optimization day with Own It, they go, oh, you're sober? And he goes, I'm not sober, but I just choose not to partake. And they go, oh, that's cool. He goes, I don't know how long I'm going to do it for, but I'm just not drinking right now. And so that's like the thing that we start to think about, is if I'm going to choose just not to drink. Like, that's just something I do. That's just a choice I make. But if I was to say, oh yeah, I'll have a glass of wine, then it's going to be a glass of wine that is done in the afternoon while I'm hanging out. And it's one glass of wine, and maybe I'll break half of it into the afternoon, and then the other half at dinner. But you've got an intentionality to it, and there's no alcohol after the meal is over. And so these are the things we can do, again, to start to put a very purposeful, intentional aspect into place. And so this helps you protect your sleep and recovery. Blue light blocking after dinner and limiting alcohol. Which brings us into states 9 and 10 is mindset and movement. Number 9 is get outside. Walk, play, breathe. Thanksgiving doesn't have to be couch and turkey. I've talked a lot about football on TV, but what does it look like to actually go and play your own football game? What does it look like to actually go for a family walk? What does it look like to do a family hike? What does it look like to sit outside if it's a beautiful October day or November day? What does this look like in being able to, again, October for Canada, November for the United States. But what does that look like? What does it look like to go for your turkey trot early in the morning and actually engage in that? And so when you get this light outdoor movement, it improves mood, oxygen utilization, and detoxification through lymphatic flow early in the day, which again starts to set you up well, because movement isn't punishment for eating. That was my anorexic thought, right? But it's rather partnership with your body to enjoy the day, enjoy the holiday, celebrate it. And quite honestly, Have gratitude for what you're doing, which takes us to number 10. Gratitude is the anchor. Pause during the day to intentionally speak or write 3 things that you're grateful for. Have gratitude that you have the ability to go and run in a turkey trot. Have gratitude for the fact that you have family to gather around you, even if you don't like your family, even if they're frustrating, even if they cause anxiety in certain ways. Have gratitude that you have a family to be around you. Because gratitude, as we talked about on the first podcast of November, gratitude elevates HRV. It elevates HRV. It lowers cortisol. It shifts your physiology from survival to connection. And when you're truly connected, that's when your body starts to heal. Because this day isn't about food, it's about the table. Who's here? Who's there? Who's gathering? What are we grateful for? What is the whole day experience like? And how can we bring this in to something much more purposeful and intentional? And you can start to see how when you do all of these things, it doesn't just set the foundation, but it sets the foundation, it builds on it through your food and rhythm and energy throughout the day that sets you up for success so you can protect your sleep and recovery, and keeps you in a mindset for the entire holiday season that sets you up well. Because the decisions you make going into this are either going to be stacked upon positively or be stacked upon negatively over the course of the next 3 to 4 weeks. The next 3 to 4 weeks will ultimately determine how you either go in frustrated and anxious into the new year, or you go in strong. And I love this season because I call this separation season. People are either going to make the decision to do something different or they're going to stay the same. People always say, I'm going to change, I'm going to do something new, but rather know the environment that you put yourself in always shapes what your next step is. And I want to empower you to do something different. I want you to empower you to do something new. It's a new thing. And so what does this look like in your life as you start to prime yourself and engage so that you have something new and different this holiday season? And so if we go over those 10 habits, again, remember, number 1, morning light and movement. Number 2, hydration. Number 3, breathwork bookends. Number 4, protein first strategy. Number 5, walk before and after meals for 5 minutes. Number 6, your eating window. Stop eating 3 hours before bed. Number 7, blue light block after dinner. Number 8, limit alcohol. Number 9, get outdoor movement. And number 10, gratitude anchor. So this is what it would look like for me, is I'd wake up on Thursday morning. I'd open the light, or I'd open the windows, get light in my eyes. I'd probably go for a walk outside with my dog. I'd do 3 minutes of breath work, finalize what gratitude looks like for me. I'll grab our family. We're going to go for the turkey trot. Right from there, we're going to come back. We're going to have a protein-heavy dinner. During this time, we've already hydrated well. We're going to make sure that we've got the football game on, we've got the turkey cooking early in the morning. We're probably going to put it in the smoker and smoke that thing all day long. We'll have the football games on outside. Because we'll be here in Miami, we're going to be playing football in the backyard. We're going to just be hanging outside. We might jump in the pool, jump in the sauna. It's all activities going to be based around movement and health. We're going to have an eating window around 5 o'clock, so we're done by 6:30, so that when we go to bed at 10:30, we've been done eating well before. We're going to make sure, again, for me, I'm not going to partake in that much alcohol, if any, but knowing that I've got a 1 drink maximum and it's going to be done before dinner is over. Making sure, again, the day is built around movement. And then last thing at night, I'm going to do breath work outside, maybe finish in the sauna. And Elise and I are going to do our high-low buffalo. What was your high? Have gratitude for it. What was your low? Have gratitude for it. And what surprised you? Have gratitude for it. So that's what a high-powered Thanksgiving day can look like in a very purposeful and intentional way, because this isn't about perfection, but rather the small intentional actions that allow your body to heal while you also enjoy the moment. Because through this, you're going to see a higher HRV, you're going to see your VO₂ max maintained, you're going to see detoxification practices optimized, you're going to see sleep continue to improve, even in a season, quite frankly, when a lot of people see it crash. And this is how you care for the basics. And so I really want to encourage you, pick 2 to 3 of these habits and lock them into your Thanksgiving. If you want to go for all 10, amazing, like all the power to you. But the goal is not to control where we're going, but it's to live in ownership, taking ownership and being a leader in the household, being a leader in your family. A lot of your family might not engage in these, but all of a sudden you start to lead this way. My gosh, your life looks different, and so does your day. And they're going to start to want to adopt some of these, because there's no way you don't do these things and feel better. There's no way you don't do these things and have a deep level of gratitude to start to change how you're operating. And so as you embody these and as you go through them, what I encourage you, take videos throughout the day, take photos throughout the day, share with me, tag me on social media as to what you're doing on your Thanksgiving holiday, so that I can share in it with you and I can repost these. And truly I can have gratitude for you guys, listeners, who are actually using these practically in your life and helping to engage in something new and different. And so share your Thanksgiving Day turkey trot runs that you go on. Share your Thanksgiving Day football games that you play. Share your Thanksgiving Day meals that you're building and creating. Maybe the blue light blockers you're wearing, your gratitude stack. Share them with me because I just want to partake in them with you and ultimately just what it is that you're grateful for, because the holidays should fill your heart and fill your cup, not ultimately wreck your health. Not be the boundaries and the obstacles that you have to overcome. It should be something that really supports where you're going and helps propel you into the season of gratefulness, gratitude, and growth in such a powerful, powerful way, because we know 2026 is coming and we're powering into 2026. We're not limping there. We know success is different, so own your different, and we'll see you guys next week.